Hey, Christy.
Kelly.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back.
How's your jet lag? How's your jet lag? You're tired?
The first day really sucked. And I don't know, I'm pretty good at jet lag. Like, I'm like, all right, knockout on the plane, which I actually slept on the plane. I'm just telling you, I will never, ever fly economy across the pond again. I flew premium economy,
Well,
which at least gives you a little bit of like,
a little more
a
reclined.
little bit
Yeah.
of room. It's like, and I actually slept. So when I got there, I hit the ground running, man.
You were good to go.
My friend who I was staying with, my other Kelly, one of my other Kellys. I have other Kellys, Kelly. I'm sorry to
Don't even,
tell you
why are you rubbing
this.
that in my face? That's just rude.
I mean, on the eve of Valentine's Day, I just have to tell you I have two other Kellys.
I feel like that is not when you're meant to drop the bomb, that there's not just one. I'm no expert in gift giving, but I'm pretty sure Valentine's that is the last gift you should ever give to somebody. Hey, guess what? You're one of three.
Yeah, I think that most people would get in a lot of trouble for that, but we know there's enough love to go around for all my Kellys. You're my
Yes.
only Canadian Kelly, so you're special. You're
So I should
special.
be in your phone as Canada Kelly. I like that you went to the City of Love
I
before
did.
Valentine's Day.
Paris.
Yes.
Paris.
Was it rainy or nice? Because it can go both ways over there.
So it rained a little bit. It was cloudy like the whole time. Like I was like,
Oh.
God, I'd be so depressed. But in just the looking around the city, I have to tell you, you have not lived until you've listened to Tupac Shakur while walking around the streets of Paris. The gangster
How did you
rap
get there?
with
Was it
the
just on your? It was on your playlist, and then you were like, "Oh, I dig this vibe while I'm walking," or did you intentionally like, you know what, this place needs a little Tupac
I don't know. I intentionally did it. I was like, and I just started kind of jamming my way through the city. I was like, hit him up.
out loud? Did it out loud or in your head?
Well, I think it was in my head, but I've been known to burst out in song or just be
I don't
singing to
hate it.
myself and whatever. But no, Paris was great. I got to see my other Kelly, my dear, very dear friend Kelly.
Yeah,
And we had a blast. Some of the things she has a new baby and she's going to actually come on the podcast with us to talk about
nice.
that at some
Me
point. Oh,
or Paris or both?
all of it, all of it. She's fabulous, Kelly. And so like we just a lot of the things I did on my own, but like the first day we went to the Eiffel Tower and had lunch like in the Eiffel Tower. It was so cloudy you couldn't see the top. So we didn't bother going to the top, but I had this fabulous lunch and of course lots of champagne.
Naturally.
Naturally. Because that's what you're supposed to do in Paris. I don't know if anyone like gives you this whole tour guide of lists and things and whatever. No, you go to Paris to eat and drink your way through it because that is how it should be done.
And it must be champagne at least once because legit, that's where it came from. So
You can't
right? You have a cheesesteak in Philly. You don't have that in fucking Detroit. Like you.
I've had cheesecakes in Detroit or cheesesteaks in Detroit. I do love them.
Yes. Yeah.
I love a cheesesteak anywhere, man. Speaking of love, I love me some cheesesteaks.
I feel
Yes.
like that might be a south of the border American thing to love, like hot meat and some sketchy orange sauce that's not a color not seen in nature. Where you're like, give me
Well,
that.
there's
It might also be connected to the diabetes and heart disease rates in this country.
no, but Paris was great. Had some of the best food I've ever had in my life.
Yes. When's the last time you did a girls trip, not work related, just for yourself?
For my 45th birthday to Nashville, Tennessee.
So for everybody, that was 10 years ago.
No, no, no. Listen, it was just this past year.
Okay, good.
And speaking of love, I have the best girlfriends. Like, I am so loved by these women and they take such great care of me. And apparently, everyone needed a girls' trip. And they're like, it's Christy's 45th birthday. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee and celebrate. And I'm like, sounds
Exactly.
fabulous.
Nobody needs an excuse. You're just like, yes, that is why this is the most important reason. I honestly am not sure I can remember the last like true girls trip where it was not me taking advantage of being on a work trip somewhere cool and my girlfriends who are also work colleagues stayed on. Those are different. I don't know the
Kelly.
last true girls trip that didn't include husbands.
Yeah, Kelly,
That's
we got to
I
fix
know.
this.
We
We
got to
fix this
fix it.
immediately. Now, granted, my trip was both work and pleasure because Kelly and I are working on a project that I'll tell you about at some future date.
Your secret Kelly and your secret project. I hear
The
you. Okay,
secret,
fine.
the secret project of Kelly and Christy, not the Skelly. But it was great. And, I really just, tomorrow's Valentine's Day and it's all about love. And do you know the origin of Valentine's Day, Kelly?
I know it's Saint Valentine, so I'm sure it was some sketchy religious dude who did something. Enlighten me.
God. Tell
Enlighten
me how
me, old
much you love the
historian.
Catholic Church, Kelly. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was actually, so Saint Valentine. So there's two different origins of it, but one is that it was a Roman celebration back in the day on February 15th. Is it the 15th? What day
No.
is Valentine's Day? The Roman thing was the 15th, though. So anyway, so it was a celebration of fertility, which makes sense, right? Because,
Yeah.
romantic love and fertility kind of go together. But then St. Valentine, when the Romans started prosecuting the Catholic Church, he used to sneak Christians out of Rome. And he did this, and then he was imprisoned and martyred on February 14th. So they killed him February 14th, and he had left a note. They think it's his jailer's daughter. This is all legend and hearsay,
Yeah, of course.
but it said, "Love your Valentine."
Okay, and that's the origin of the notes too in the little Valentine's cards. There's a
Mm.
girl on my team at work who set up a whole candygram thing where
Oh,
you put little candygrams, and then and she's going out of pocket herself to like put little chocolates together and stuff, and she's handing them out. And it just felt so reminiscent of high school. We used to do carnations or like these lollipop things, and it was definitely a popularity contest. Like it's
I was
who's
just gonna
laughing
say,
louder,
I was
the
like,
fucking
who
bouquet
had
of
most
carnations.
flowers?
And then if you had zero, you felt like a loser. But I was so excited to do it. Just yeah, I'm literally nearly everyone. I'm like writing one for everyone because sometimes I think you just need to remind people that somebody's thinking of you. Yeah. So I was just so excited that she's doing it. So I think she's handing them out today. I hope because let's face it, Fridays in the office, most people are like, nah, this feels like a work from home day. So there might be like a pile of candygrams there on a Monday, which feels a little bit like a letdown. But that's so cool that you were in the city of love with another Kelly. That's fine. I'll put that aside.
Well, I was by myself a lot, so she has a small child. She has a baby, and I don't,
True.
I
You're
don't mind.
adventuring.
Oh yeah, and I don't mind that. I actually sometimes prefer to travel alone because you get to actually like, what does Christy want to do?
And
And
do you find that you're way more interactive with other people? Like you meet more people because there's nobody there to actually talk to. So you're seeking the connection. I talk to people way more by myself.
I talk to people all the time. I mean, Kelly took a picture of me at dinner, and there was some priests. We were having dinner, and there was some priests in the back. I was going to bed. I started a conversation. I'm
Was
sorry.
she waiting to capture the lightning strike that was imminent?
Please, 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 please,
Wait
don't worry.
for
I
it.
went to go see Notre Dame,
Yeah,
and I lit a couple candles. I'm clear. I'm all good.
you're
I'm all
like
good.
I don't want to risk it. I gotta fly home.
Listen, Kelly was laughing at me because I was on my knees at several points in the church. Well, because I am a spiritual and religious person, and also if I would have done something different, it probably would have been history. But I realized you have to go to school as long as you do it to be a doctor, and you get paid
Mm.
shit. So I was like, wait
You're like,
a
no.
minute, I'm not doing this. So it was just very powerful for me, even though there's like crowds of people pushing you. I'm like, just knelt
So
down and said a prayer and it's fine.
yeah,
And
so
then,
beautiful. Yes.
I mean, like,
Religious
hey,
religious or not, you go to these places and you see these things that are like globally recognizable institutions, and you have to respect just the magnitude of where you are. And you're just like some crazy shit has happened here. You go, yeah, we could go dark, but there's places like 9/11 Memorial, and you stand there and you're just like, oh my God, whatever the politics or the history is behind it, you feel it.
I mean, I certainly do. I don't know if everyone does. I went to the Museum Orsay and the Louvre, and I did tours of both because I'm just that geek. I'm just that kid. I want to know what's the story behind it and who did it, and tell me where all of the Easter eggs are hidden that
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
fuck you,
yeah.
political party, whatever it is, right? There's always those Easter
What's
eggs,
the little
especially.
tongue in cheek?
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the and then the scandal, right? Because
Yeah.
with the Impressionists, you have quite a bit of scandal happening.
Well,
So,
there's always scandal. Always scandal, usually tied to sex or some sort of nefarious relationship thing. You're like, we've been sketchy forever, mankind.
oh my goodness, please, please.
Yeah.
And this romantic love has gotten more people in trouble. And I mean, really, if you look at, for the most part, I mean, previous or this century not included, most wars were started over love.
Yeah. Or jealousy. Yeah.
No, but like, yeah, like it was, you stole my woman and now I'm going to kill all of your people.
Exactly. Now you must die.
Now
This
you
is
must
really
die.
good. We've really done a good job of keeping this in the love theme.
Yeah.
And just in the bad side. Okay.
The good
Valentine's
side.
Day. Okay, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. You have two kids who are in school. You have a son. He's littler. Does he have a girl crush? Like, did you have to go buy anything for a certain girl? Or is he like, nah, girls are gross?
So he is, no, he does not think girls are gross. He actually will find the prettiest girl in the room and hit on her.
Well, because he's a handsome fella.
He
So,
is. And like, so here's how it works at our school. For the kindergartners, which he's in kindergarten, you just have them sign all
okay.
of
Oh, there's
theirs and
cards.
not put names on them.
Okay.
So that way, and which I really appreciate as a mom,
Yeah.
because
Well,
filling all those out, I'm
how
like,
how
how
does
is
this
this
one
spelled?
spell Jaden? Exactly.
Well, I always get, so Colton has multiple girlfriends. Actually, his two favorite are the twins. There are these two.
And this is risky. I get where he gets it. Mom and her three Kellys, but fuck.
Well, I mean, so they're the sweetest little girls and they're twins. And every time they see Colton, they're like, Colton! And they
Oh
hug
no.
him together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this boy, I'm
Well, I
going to have
mean,
to.
we could do a sister wives kind of.
Yeah, no, no. My son's not having three Kellys. That's all I'm saying.
No. Yeah,
My
exactly.
son's not having three Kellys.
No, you're not doing that. But
I will, whatever. But so, yeah, so Valentine's Day, they celebrated it on Tuesday because my kids are out of school today and tomorrow. And then Wednesday for
I know Monday's a holiday, but why
parent teacher conference. Are they out on Monday?
isn't Monday President's Day? Well, whatever day it is, Monday is a holiday. Monday
I'm gonna
is
have to. Oh
definitely a
my gosh,
holiday.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I come home, I land. Damn it, Kelly. Now I'm gonna have to go figure that
Hey,
out.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You could have woken up Monday morning and been like,
Get out! Get out! Oh wait, there's
"Why are you
nowhere.
out of bed?"
Why? Wait. Why is school closed? Why is there no one here?
Yeah, exactly. So they're off
Anyway,
on
so well,
Valentine's Day. That's kind of
yeah.
weird.
Well, so it's parent teacher conferences, and then they were going to have their party on Wednesday, but then on Tuesday night we got about 3 inches of snow.
Still,
So I come home from Paris like to work in craziness, and then my kids are also home, and
super productive for moms when the kids are home and you're trying
yeah.
to work.
Can I just tell you? Yesterday, I was on a call with a potential new client. It was the first time I'd met this guy, and he wasn't the marketing guy; he was the finance guy, right? So, like,
Okay.
let's get our
Different.
serious,
Yeah, different approach.
totally different approach. Like, let's talk some business, yo.
Yeah, I'm not going to use
And
the jazz hands with you.
well,
I mean, there's a little bit of sizzle, but you're not just talking
yeah.
about rainbows.
I mean, yeah. My other Kelly and I were laughing that I'm jazz hands all the time. Like, I've
So
spent my
weird.
life trying to hide my jazz hands, and now I'm just letting them fly.
There's-
This is so exciting. This is amazing because that's how I feel. So I'm gonna do it. But
Yeah.
anyways, during this time, Presley like kept coming in and trying to distract me to ask if she could have a friend over. And so, I'm on camera. So I'm like, get the fuck out, kid. So that was fun. I don't even remember what I said on that call. I hope I get another one. He's like, why is this crazy lady making these facial? She has some sort of tick.
She has some sort of a tick. I mean, we should probably do business with her because she probably has a hard time getting new business.
We're gonna feel sorry for her. Can I play the
That's right.
sorry
The
card?
Mercy products.
I did play the dumb American card quite a bit to get my way in France, and it worked.
Okay. It worked?
Yeah.
Did you
People
do
say,
any parler en français at all? Or you were like,
no.
no, I'm not trying.
Listen, I can do a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of Italian, but French
Their
is a
love
whole.
language, they're so close.
No, they're not.
I mean, some of the words are. And if you can roll your R's in one, you can roll them in the other.
Well, I can't even spell like in English. So me learning another language is kind of like never gonna happen. But going back to love, so that was very much a
Yes,
self-love trip for me.
good. The
It's
best kind of love.
the best it has to be because you have to start with self-love. If you don't have self-love, how can you love other people?
Well,
Right?
and totally. And how can you accept their love to you? Because you would never trust it if you don't even trust yourself. Although I'm going to say it all so hypocritically, I'm way better at, pumping someone else's tires than my own. I'm look in the mirror and being like, oh my God, it isn't that. And I would never say it out loud to somebody
No,
else.
no, no, we're
But
terrible.
yeah, I'm really critical of myself. Hey, I know you were flying back during the Super Bowl, and that was you had some anxiety about that, and we won't talk about the outcome of the Super Bowl
We
because.
can talk about the outcome.
But I want to ask you: did you see it? Did you get to see it on the plane, or how did
I
that work
did.
out?
So I was like on my phone as second we got connected, like, and so I was flying. I had the first leg was from, I flew through Dallas Fort Worth. And so I was just on a 1 hour flight from Dallas to Kansas City. And
Oh, when the game was on. Okay,
yeah,
not on
yeah.
the long
So
haul.
by
I got.
halftime, I saw the halftime show from my sister's house.
That's probably why you had to sleep then, because you were like, "This is boring. I'm gonna go to sleep."
Kelly, no, her daughter was crying. And I'm like, it's going to be okay. The game's not over yet. Like,
Oh, she was upset about the score at that point, or was
so
she crying
upset.
about the halftime show? Because the halftime show, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to cut that because I completely disagree with you.
We don't have to cut that. We're allowed to disagree, and you still have to love me. What did you love
That's
about
true.
it? What did you love about it?
Well, I loved all of the undertones. I
Okay,
loved,
yes,
so
but
I
did you
love,
know the undertones in the moment? Did you know them, or did you find out afterwards?
yeah, I knew them. You got a black Uncle Sam. There was the American flag. He split it down the middle. Yes, sis.
Okay. See, I learned it, and I parked that one. That one was a little more obvious, but there was some other more subtle stuff that people were like, "Oh my God, so much shade," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I was just looking at it experientially and comparing it to every other halftime show. Going back to Jazz Hands, that was I expect like pyrotechnics and guest appearances and brr, 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 and I was like, this feels like a little bit like just he thought, okay, I'll go do a concert with a couple of songs and like sing and wear. I liked his jeans though, but I
I loved
didn't
his
know.
jeans.
Yeah, I didn't know the rest of the stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cheeky. Okay, I see what you did. So I was a little
Well,
bit meh in the moment.
so I have to tell you, I saw this woman on TikTok and she said, for those of you over 50 who didn't like the halftime show, it wasn't for you.
Yeah, yeah, totally, definitely, because I was
And
like looking at his pants, going, "Yay, the pants we wore in the '90s are back in style." That's what I took from that.
well, I mean, I loved it. I also love him. So that would make sense, right? To be familiar with the
Okay,
music
yeah.
and to have it speak to me. And, somebody said, you can't even understand what he's saying. And then I was like, can we play Smells Like Teen Spirit right now?
Oh,
Like, no one
yeah,
understands.
nobody
I
ever
mean,
knows. Like
like, I'm like,
every
it's just a
parent.
different generation of you not understanding what they're saying.
But that's every generation has done that, right? Remember when Elvis was popular and those parents were like, "The hell kind of fucking music?" I'm sure they didn't say the F bomb, but what are you listening to? He's moving his hips. Like that's just forever. So I'm glad you got some joy out of the middle of the game because you certainly had no joy at the end of the game. But that wasn't the point of me asking about the Super Bowl.
So
My
hold on.
question,
Small cry for my Chiefs.
take
I
a
still love
moment.
you, Chiefs. Still a Chiefs fan. You're a great freaking team. I don't
There
care
you
what
go.
anyone has to say about you.
Okay, there you go. So, and also, I think that I don't watch a lot of football. I see the appeal of it. I thought that the Eagles like did a really great job, even how they showed up their coaches. Like I was just like, that was classy. Well done. My point was, did you see the commercials? Because let's really talk about why people watch the Super Bowl who are not normal football fans like myself. We watch it for the commercials. So
I've done
about
2 Super
love,
Bowl commercials, by the way. Do you know that?
nice.
We'll talk about that later.
Let's talk about that later. That is so cool. My self-love moment in the Super Bowl was the Dove Keep Her Confident commercial. Dove came out with their True Beauty, I think it was called.
Real beauty.
Real Beauty, thank you. Like a long time ago, probably 15 years ago, and that talk about an enduring campaign, and we won't get into all the marketing behind that. But Keep Her Confident. 1 in 2 girls quit sports related to body confidence. And that little girl running in her pink and blue, and she's out of breath and she gives zero fucks about her thighs or any. I am like, where is that little girl inside of me? She's gone from the age of 12 at the side of the Chesley pool when someone made a comment, and I don't know how to get it back. So I look at that commercial. Oh, I look at that commercial and I'm like, we have daughters that we need to get out of this.
It's okay. Hey, I feel the same way. My daughter is at that age. I struggle with my own body image a lot because, like you, I had that moment where someone told me when I was very young that I didn't look right, that I was fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I struggle, we talked about self-love in the beginning, but, that's something I've always struggled with. And I think most women do. There's a stat that says 80% of women in this country don't feel good in their bodies. Or maybe it was 90. It was high. It was one of those numbers. But
Yeah.
when I saw that spot, I cried, as one does, as you're doing, because my daughter is 10 years old.
At a
And
critical point, right? Because she
she
plays sports right now.
she plays them competitively. And one day she asked me, she said, was standing there. I mean, she's super athletic, muscles for days. She's standing there looking in my mirror and she said, Mommy, am I fat? I'm like, of course you're not fat. Oh my gosh, you have the most beautiful body ever. Like, don't ever look at your body and not see how strong it is. And then I'm like, okay, freak out. Note to her therapist. Hey, so this just happened. This is how I handled it. I did not validate her feelings. I did not get into any of it with her. So I had to go back to her and bring it up. And I was like, hey, Presley, why did you ask me the other day if you were fat?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm sorry that I responded the way I did. I was just so flabbergasted because when I look at you, I just see perfection and beauty. Like what you are to me is just beautiful. And you have this incredibly strong body that can compete at this amazing level. And she's like, I don't know. Some of the girls at school were talking about being fat or whatever. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I took it to Taylor Swift because that's her love language.
Okay.
Gifts and Taylor Swift. That's my daughter's love language. And she said, I said, Taylor Swift, people have called her fat before. They've called her too skinny. They've called her, right. So they're always, I said, so what I said is people will always have comments on your body. Let them.
Yeah.
What you need to know is that your body is perfect as it is. And that if somebody doesn't think that your body is good enough, that's their issue, not yours.
Can I ask you for saying that to your daughter? Do you genuinely feel that for yourself? Isn't that the hardest thing though? Because you're trying to instill something in your kids that you know to be the right answer and true, but you know damn well that you don't feel that way inside. My daughter called me out when she turned 19 on Tuesday. I don't know
Happy birthday!
how that happened because now my youngest is legally allowed to drink in Canada. I'm like, oh God. Anyways, that's fine. But she's said to me, Mom, I think you have body dysmorphia. And I'm like, what are you talking about? No. She's like, you do not look to me like you are describing yourself. And I'm like, damn it, why does she know how I describe myself? I've obviously done a bad job of hiding that.
While I'm standing in the mirror and shaming myself every morning.
Exactly. Or you're doing that, like tucking this in and is not showing that, like
sucking it in.
I will say of the things that I envy about men, their ability to look past, it's like they have that blur filter on themselves or something, like their ability to look at themselves in the mirror. And I think they only focus on the parts that they like, so that they it feeds the narrative that I'm a sexy god. And then they see it and it doesn't matter what else is going on. They could have the biggest beer belly or whatever. And they're looking at their legs because they love their legs. And they're like, damn, I'm hot. I immediately, my eyes immediately go to the part of my body that I am the least happy with. And I'm like, all the rest of it could be perfection. And I'm looking at the one part and I'm like, well, I'm fucked. It's so funny. I don't know how to train my brain in the other direction.
I'm working on that. So that's actually something that I'm with.
You tell me how, when you find the ticket, you tell me what it is.
I'm working with a trained professional. Not a trainer, but a therapist about it because, I have weighed myself almost every single day of my life.
Yeah.
And my friend Kelly was taking all these pictures of me in Paris, and like I hated it. And
Did
people can look at me and say, Christy, you're beautiful. And all I can think about is my
yeah, but
chin, my
yep,
cheek, or,
yep.
yeah, but
Do
you
you
know
think
what? 40
yeah.
pounds ago, I was smoking hot. But guess what? 40 pounds ago,
You
I
didn't think you were
still was
smoking
trying to
hot.
lose weight, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's
All
like,
those
let's be
pictures,
small.
you'll see those same Paris pictures 10 years from now and you'll be like, damn, I wish that I wish I looked as good as I looked then, knowing full well in that moment you thought you looked like shit. It is such a mind fuck. And let me just tell you, can we please fix the industry of clothing manufacturing, because they are not helping this situation. You are a size 10 in one company's clothes, you're a size 16 in another company's clothes, and then there's another company that doesn't even make clothes in your size, and your size is the national average. So for the longest time I did not wear Lululemon, and as a Canadian I know that seems blasphemous,
I don't want
but
to.
listen, their biggest size up until probably a handful of years ago was a 12, a fucking 12. The national average size in North America at the time was 16. I know because I looked it up, and I
I was
wrote
on
to
the
them.
internet.
I wrote to them.
I
I was
love that
like,
you did
as
that.
a Canadian, how dare you only manufacture to a 12 when the national average, what are you telling women? It's like if I put on I am 6 feet tall and like happy if I can stay under 200. If my number starts with a 1, I am like miracles. I am not a tiny person.
But you're
If
beautiful,
I,
Kelly.
well, thank you. But
I think you're beautiful.
if I put an extra large on, which is like traditionally where I would sit, and it doesn't fit, like it's too small, I am thinking, what are you telling me? You're telling me I am so beyond extra large that what's the next size? Fucking huge? Like,
Double
like
X.
that just makes me so frustrated. I feel like I'm fired up about this. I know people listening are like, that girl's mad about this, but it is. So that Dove commercial, back to the Super Bowl, that Dove commercial, keep her confident. Can we stop for ourselves knocking ourselves down about this? Can we stop knocking other women down about this? Because we judge each other. Like, what is she wearing? Does she know that looks like that?
Judge us, right? Like, so
For
if
sure.
you look at, what traditionally women, we're going to blame it on the men, guys. Here it goes. If you look at traditionally, like what attracts men and what attracts women, and women were supposed to look for a good provider, right? Like I'm talking historically, like not today, but it translates to today. A good provider, someone who's strong, things like that. And women were supposed to be their beautiful muses.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
that's kind of, I mean, it was funny actually taking it back to Paris in the Orsay. The museum is divided into two sides. One is like the traditional route, and the other one is all of the people that couldn't get into the Paris Academy of Art. And what's interesting is that there's a whole thing on that. That could be a whole podcast.
So the
But
good
what's
artists and the shit
interesting,
ones.
well, because they had a certain standard, right? So
Ah,
you go to
okay.
one side, and all of the women are painted perfectly.
Okay.
Okay. And
Their
then you go to
bodies are perfect.
their
Like
bodies are perfect.
okay.
Their body, in
Okay.
quotes, guys, in quotes, their
Yeah.
bodies are perfect, right? There's no
Yeah.
cellulite. Their waist goes in, their boobs are nice and perky, and their skin is creamy white.
Of course.
Of course, right? Perfectly proportioned, perfectly perfect. And you go to the other side, and I forget the artist's name, but anyways, he was one of the first artists to start painting like realism. Because in Paris back in the day, you could paint nobility, you could paint deity, and you could paint war, and like that's all they painted.
That's it.
There was
Okay.
no everyday stuff. So, and by the way, if anyone wants to fact check that, feel free. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. I
Sounds
heard
good. So I'm going to go with it.
my tour guide say. So, anyways, this dang it, I can't remember the artist's name. It starts with an M, maybe a G. Anyways, so there's this beautiful painting where he's playing with light and shadows, and his wife is in it, and she's naked and she's turned around, and you
Okay.
can see cellulite. on her legs.
And do you know what happened in that moment? He probably painted a beautiful photo of her, and he was probably like painting exactly what he saw because he thought it looked spectacular. She probably saw the finished product and was like, "Bro, the fuck are you doing? Put my cellulite on that canvas?
Dare you put
How
cellulite?
dare you capture that?" She's probably not looking at the light and the angles at all. She's like,
That's all she
so
saw.
you admit you saw my cellulite?"
And this is a painting of love. I mean, you can look at this masterpiece and tell that this man loved this woman.
Exactly.
And so it's just, I don't know. I just hope to maybe for the next generation of women, we can help them not hate themselves and not define themselves by what they see in the mirror, or more importantly, what other people see, right?
Yeah. I think you just said something very important to differentiate. We want a generation of women who don't hate themselves, but actually, I don't know that that's it. The second part of what you said is what I think we really want. We want them to not define themselves by what they see, right? Because the hate is the judgment. The problem in the judgment is that the definition is wrong. So if we didn't define if we never defined what was right and wrong or good and bad or beautiful and not beautiful, then we wouldn't judge ourselves for it because there's no definition. Everything should be beautiful. And then so you look in the mirror and you're like, this is the hand that I was dealt. I look good, right? I am so envious of every woman and man who does that every single day and gives zero fucks about the roll at the top of their pants or whatever. I'm like, man, I can do a lot of cool shit and I'm good at a lot of stuff, but I still look at that, muffin top and go, damn it, I should change my pants.
Or shit, what did I eat yesterday? But I will tell you, I did two things in Paris that I have never really done.
Okay.
One, I ate whatever the hell I wanted.
Ooh, okay. Best thing you ate while you were there. Tell me.
I'll think about that while I'm getting to the second one. I took selfies of myself, Kelly. I made myself take pictures of me. Just me.
Know, because I noticed on your Instagram, I was like, well, you took a lot of pictures of art. And I'm like, that's cool. Cause think Instagram is a scrapbook of what we've done, which is good. But I was like, oh, there she is. And I could see pictures of you. And I was like, haven't seen her do that. I love that. And you look cute as a button, especially in that white hat.
Oh, that was my friend Kelly's. All the hats were Kelly's. She was like, here.
Because you look good. Yeah, I have so many hats here. You've seen them hanging on the wall. You should wear them.
I don't wear hats, but I think I'm going to start. But the first time I did it, it was really uncomfortable to take a selfie of just me. Like, I'll take selfies with other people, but the first time I ever took a selfie of just me, like as an actual picture, not some joke to my friends, like when I'm like, hey, look at my hair, but like something that I would post or whatever. So it was a kind of a big deal for me. And I made myself do it everywhere. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to love myself, damn it, because I will not let my daughter grow up with my demons.
Excellent. How many selfies have you taken of yourself since you got home?
Well, I haven't taken a single picture since I got home, except for one that I sent you of my son sleeping.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Since I've gotten home, it has been work, kids, laundry, work, tired, work, snow.
Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Then the theme of this is self-love and in honor of Valentine's Day. You're going to take a selfie on Valentine's Day, and I'm going to take a selfie on Valentine's Day, and we're going to post it as the thumbnail for this episode.
Kelly, let's do that.
Let's do that. Wear red because it's Valentine's Day.
Well, I almost wore
like red. Don't wear red.
Listen, girl, I love red. The one thing I can say about myself with absolute positivity is this: I can wear any color.
There you go.
Do not have a color that people are like, ew, that's just not your color. I can wear any color.
What's your power color? Is it black? You wear black a lot. Yeah.
And for many reasons, like, in Paris, I wore black all the time. It's slimming, but I hate that I said that. But
let's rewind and repeat.
No. But like, so you go from like, first of all, you're walking a lot, you're sweating, whatever, but you can make athletic gear look posh, right? Definitely. Put a hat on with it, whatever. And so what I love about black is you can change your shoes and your jewelry and the whole thing changes.
Now you're dressed up.
Yeah.
Unless whatever turning point in fashion happened where yoga pants were acceptable as workwear. If you made me wear hard pants every single day to work, I would cry. But I right now am wearing athleisure pants in my work, I have sparkles. So
Sparkles.
clearly my, I'm a little bit like a mullet because I have this party at the top and then I have business on the bottom. But the business is yoga because it's a stretchy pant that looks like a trouser. I get compliment. It's Athleta. Look it up. I don't remember. I think it's the essential pant or something. I have it in every color. And
Yeah,
you
I'm
roll
gonna
it
go
up
look
in
that
a
up. You just
ball.
send me the link.
Yeah, you roll it up in a ball. You pack them in your luggage. They do not wrinkle, and they're just stretchy pants. And I'm like, yes, this is for me. Because some days, especially when you travel, you start one size and you end in a different size because you probably haven't pooped in like 5 days.
Oh,
Everything's getting a
you
little back.
asked me. You asked me the best thing I ate in Paris.
Yeah,
It's funny. So there's two pieces. I was in Versailles,
yeah,
and I was halfway through the palace, and your brain gets a little overloaded. You got to take a break because, like,
yeah.
holy
You're
gold.
taking it all in. Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, and the French people were starving, and this is what is being built. Okay, the darker side of history. I have to balance the two. I'm like, this is beautiful. A bunch of bastards.
Yeah. Killed so many people. Anyways,
And so I stopped tonight at a cafe in the palace, and I had it was chicken and mashed potatoes. It was the best freaking mashed potatoes I've ever had in my life. I literally, like, mashed potatoes are my love language. I don't order them out because I or my sister Jenny or my mother, we make the best mashed potatoes you've ever had in your life. These, I was like, chicken be gone. And I ate
we
every
need the
single,
potato.
I mean the potato. But the best dinner I had was at a little local place that was so local. Like, they had like a chalkboard, and I posted pictures of it. It was like we had veal in this like magic sauce, and then a steak that was cut up, and then just like more potatoes, and it
More
was
as you
just
do, bread and
divine.
potatoes.
Oh,
Yeah,
and fries.
they are French fries. But I think
I'm gonna
I
say I
think
was
it's a
not
better.
impressed by the French fries.
Yeah, they don't do French fries really well. But you know what I think the magic is over there is the butter, because we often are at a show that's in Paris every May. One year I took a physician to lunch, and it's a busy time, and so we didn't really have time to go find a patio in a restaurant and sit down and have this long lunch. There was a cafeteria at the bottom of the Palais de Congrès where they have the show.
I
And
love
so
how you just said that. Say it again.
she's no, I didn't even roll it. Palais de Congrès. However, she's like, hey, we'll just grab lunch in the cafeteria, and I'm thinking, okay, this is really not the level of lunch we usually take our physicians on, but fine. And so they had these like baguette sandwiches, and so we had like a ham and cheese. It was ham and cheese on a baguette, and there was no like mayonnaise or anything. I'm thinking this is gonna be the driest fucking sandwich I just took her for lunch for. It was the most magical goddamn sandwich because the bread was beautiful and the butter was divine. I actually take butter when I'm in Paris and France home with me. Like every hotel, and you have the little pats. And I mean, it
You're
does
sticking them
like,
in your bag.
yes, because they're so good.
I
I don't
stick this
know.
butter in my bag. What do you have in your
I'm
bag,
like,
butter?
I'm pretty sure their global entry is going to take my Nexus card because they're like, we told you not to bring food. But I'm like, have you tried this butter? So I
It's
think it's the
magic.
magic of the French butter.
Magic butter.
Anyways, so
Magic
okay,
butter.
we have a task. This week is about love. This podcast is about self love and confidence and womanhood. And
Which apparently were no.
this is
Listen,
take advice from us. Shine the mirror on yourself. Okay, fine. And we're tasking ourselves to take a selfie. It's not hard for me. I probably have 4,000 on my phone, but we're starting with you. We're gonna
okay, we'll
take a
start with
selfie.
me. Let's be clear, though. I have confidence in spades.
This is not
Self
about
love is a
confidence.
very
This
different
is
thing.
correct. I have confidence for days. This is about self love. And so I
True.
want you to take the picture. And when you take the picture, take 5 or 10 or whatever you want, but don't judge any of them. Don't be like, oh my God, my nose looks big here. Oh my God, this one
Do you think
is
I have a
like,
big nose? I don't have a big nose. Why would you say
no,
that to me?
I'm talking about
I
myself.
know. I'm just kidding. Hold on. I've got like a perfect nose.
You do have a perfect nose.
I
I
know.
mean, I also have a perfect nose. It's perfect for me.
I can't imagine you with a different nose.
Me neither. Someone's like, maybe you should have a nose job. And I'm like, yeah, but what if they Jennifer Grey me and fuck it up? I'm
I
like,
was
no,
just thinking that. I was like, don't go Jennifer Grey, man. She
don't fuck
lost
it up.
it. Oh, God bless her. Because
And they can't take it back. I'm having a hard enough time with the chiclet in my mouth. Imagine if I changed my nose. I am fixing this tooth today. So next podcast, I will have the permanent tooth in, and if it looks like a chiclet, we're going to have a very different podcast
Well,
conversation.
also, Kelly, it's a podcast. Most people just listen to it. I know you wanted to do the video thing, which I was clearly for not, but most people just listen. If anyone's listening at all.
They are going to listen, and you know who else can listen? Us in 10 years when we're like, damn it, we're still shit at that.
Everyone, yeah, everyone's like, why would you want to do a podcast? I'm like, it's a great outlet and it's fun.
It is. It is
It's fun.
excessively fun. Yeah.
And also, speaking of the self-love piece, it's hard to listen to yourself or to see yourself recorded. At least it is for me.
Yeah.
And this helps with that. It's like, you have a voice, Christy. It's a good voice.
Yes.
You know, going back to love, you are loved by so many people. And I don't mean that I'm like this amazing, wonderful, fabulous person that I just love by everyone, but I have a lot of people that love me and they love me well.
Yeah.
And I love them well too. But it's just, it's really good. I don't know. I am kind of babbling here. Sorry. I think it's good to do the things that make you a little bit uncomfortable, but you know you're going to have a good time, right?
Exactly.
Like I was like the first episode that we did, which really wasn't an episode, but you know, that was like I literally like had about damn near had a panic attack about it because it was so putting myself out there and like to be judged. What if people listen to this and what if they judge me? And then I was like, oh yeah,
don't care.
I don't care. I have to remind myself, I don't care.
Exactly. As long as you don't judge you. They'll listen and you judge you.
But love is contagious, guys. Love is contagious. Love yourselves and love each other, right? Like,
yes. And have a happy Valentine's Day. Minus the martyrdom. Just the fun.
I had to make it dark. Did you know that it comes from someone being martyred?
Yes. Maybe
Someone
write a love note to yourself. Happy Valentine's Day. You rock my world. There you go.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write a letter to myself, all of my favorite things about me.
Ooh. Okay.
That's what you need to do too. You gave me the you gave me the freaking selfie or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Everything I love about me.
Everything you love about you.
Deal.
Okay.
I hope it's a long list. I'm not sure. It's a long list.
You can't use ChatGPT either.
Yeah. Damn it.
No AI.
No AI.
What does Kelly like about herself? I think mine could actually do that.
Handwritten what I love about myself. I'd be afraid, but I should do that. Dear ChatGPT, what do I love about myself? No, because then it's going to like go into my search history and my text strings and be like, you're a bitch.
And you need to see a therapist. Here's a number of a therapist near you.
And say, by the way, somebody told me they use ChatGPT to tell them what to do on a trip. Like, hey, I'm going to be in Paris for 5 days. Recommend an itinerary for me, and based on the restaurants based on the food preferences I have, where are the best places to stop and shop. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's an option. So think about it.
Well, you know what? It's just like the internet and computers. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to take over, but guess what? It's awesome. I use it for everything. So same. I love ChatGPT.
Same.
I love it.
Can you please write me a grocery list? Somebody help.
Oh, I haven't thought about that. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll use it for that. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day. Much love to you. Spread it around. Love you too. Bye.
Bye.